What's going on, guys? My name is Ted, and I'm bringing you guys my first commentary in about a week. I'm not sure the gameplay in the background is going to be because I'm not sure how long this commentary is going to take, and if I think correctly, it's going to be a dome demolition gameplay because those are generally the longest ones that I have, but it might also be some terminal domination hardcore, so enjoy it for what it is. But I recently started college, and if you've been reading my Twitter posts, Twitter down below, if you're not following me, you definitely should. I just moved into college about 2 days ago. And it's funny, it was a whole different experience from what I was expecting. I was expecting myself to easily transition into, the groups here and being away from my family, my friends. And it's definitely a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. Initially, I realized that I wasn't going to see my friends anymore. And as far as, the lifestyle changes, everything's completely different. You no longer have your family within a phone call away. I can still call them, but, they're much further away than they generally are. Even though they left me home alone a lot, it used to be that I could call them and I could meet up with them within half an hour. Now they're several hours away and I simply can't do that. Same thing with my friends. The people that you're generally with, they're kind of like your comfort zone. I have a bunch of friends back at JI that I could just share my feelings with, talk naturally with, and they completely understood me for who I was. I'm a very strange person, and the conversations that we had, they just flowed naturally. When you get to this new school, all of a sudden you have to develop these new relationships with people. And they're not necessarily interested in the same things that you are, and it's hard to build a connection over things that don't really relate. For example, I'm huge into electronics, huge into video games, huge into cell phones, computers, all that kind of stuff. And back at home, I had these friends that I've had for 6 and 7 years, and they kind of developed their interest based on mine, because generally I was, the focal point, and they would kind of develop their interest around me. Now, kind of, I'm this third wheel. Because going into USC, I didn't have anybody that I knew, and both my roommates actually have a lot of friends that they know, so it's kind of awkward there. But I do meet a lot of new people, which is great. But it's interesting just the relationships that I'm building. I've got to completely steer away from my general conversations. I cannot talk about Call of Duty. I can't talk about electronic stuff like that. And it's very hard to develop conversations sometimes. And the main thing I've been realizing recently is that I'm just not having fun. It used to, that'll change as college gets along, as I develop those new friendships. But as is right now, I've got a very small group of friends that I've been introduced to and that I've gone and been acquainted myself with, and they're all really great people. They're funny, they're nice, they're interesting, but it's just not the same, and I think that scares me a little bit. Back at Charleston or in James Island, everybody, all my friends that I knew, they knew me so well. I was that kid that was into video games, I was into electronics. And I threw a lot of parties, so everyone really got to know me just inside and out. And I loved that. I loved that I could just go to anybody's house and just talk with anybody about anything, and we'd find common interests. At USC, it's a little bit more difficult. Everyone's in that college level. I think everyone's going through a transitional phase into the college surrounding, and I think everyone's trying a little too hard to kind of keep their personalities the same. Whereas I'm trying to flex mine a little bit. I'm trying to develop interests based on other people's interests, and it's hard sometimes. It's just a little bit different of an experience from what I was thinking. And as far as missing my family, I don't necessarily miss my family like my parents as much as I thought I would have. My parents at home, I don't know if I've ever explained this over commentary before, but the way that my family lives is that my parents would go off and do their thing for a week at a time, and I would stay at home, or I'd stay at one of my properties out at Kiowa, and I'd see them on a Saturday or maybe for lunch a couple of days out of the week, but we never really had a tight bond. I love my parents. My mom's going through cancer. I'm with her through that, and it's a very tough situation for my family. But I never really, felt that strong bond between my family, and that's the way it is with my brother and my two parents. It was never there, and I don't think it ever will be there, considering I'm going to college right now, and I'm really not feeling much missing of them. I do love them, but I don't miss them, if that doesn't sound corrupt at all. The people that I am missing, though, is my friends. In particular, if he's listening, Max Wilson. Max and I have a great relationship based on that. We have exactly the similar interests, to the most part. Now, he's not into electronics, but as far as Call of Duty goes and as far as partying goes, we have such similar interests, and he's the one person I remember just talking to endlessly about anything. And sorry guys, my computer froze there. As I was saying, Max was someone that I could just talk to endlessly about, and about just anything. And he was someone that I'd call him up, we'd go to dinner together, we'd always go to Chick-fil-A or whatever. And I think it's important to have those really strong relationships with some of your friends, because it's just something you can vent about. If I ever had any problems, which is very rare back at home, we'd always go to dinner, we'd talk about it or whatever. But just in general, it was nice to be able to talk to someone for a long time. And I'm a talker. I do these damn commentaries for like 20 minutes. I love talking about just random stuff and having people listen. and it's just so much different in USC. It's hard to put a word on it. Back when I was in James Island, people were saying, oh, it's so much different in college. I didn't really understand what they were getting at, and now I definitely do. And just in general, the surroundings as well. I mean, you've got a dormitory now. Fitting my massive collection of electronics into a 10 by 15 foot room is not the easiest thing in the world to do. But however, I did manage to get my laptops and stuff in here and all my electronics. But just the surrounding, I keep having the insight this is just a camp. That next weekend I'm just going to go home, and I've got to remind myself, hey, I'm living here for the next 4 years. I got to get used to this. And not to say that I can't. Right now, the classes haven't begun yet. I don't go to class until Wednesday or Thursday. I'm honestly not sure. That's kind of pathetic, actually. I don't even know when school starts, but I don't even have my schedule, to be honest. But when classes start, I'm going to find some new friends, and I'll get inside a clique of people with my interests. At least that's what I'm hoping. But it seems right now, the only friends that I've met are my roommates, and my roommates' friends, and they're all really cool people. I just don't think that there's someone that I can continually talk about stuff for. I think that everyone's got their small cliques of friends. Everyone in high school, at least that I know of, whether you were a nerd, a gothic kid, a really super popular kid, you all had your cliques of people that you would just endlessly hang out with. And that's what I don't have. That's what I'm missing right now. And for me, being a little social butterfly that I am, it's a little bit harder for me to go through this transitional phase because I'm so used to having those people that I can talk to, people that I can text, and I know it's just different. And of course, giving up alcohol, I'm not going to drink for at least until I'm trying to get through the first semester in college. But I don't know how many people out there drink. I know a lot of you guys are smaller kids, and if you are, just completely ignore this. But man, I was partying really hard before I got back here, or before I went to college. And I was having a great time. You get with all your friends, and everyone's kind of saying goodbye, so it was really sad. But at the same time, you're having a great time, and I miss those times. Miss those times where you can just play beer pong with your friends and have a good time. Eat pizza, play beer pong, take some shots. I mean, honestly, let's be honest here. Shots are so much fun, and you get to have a great time if you take enough shots, and then just chill out, talk with your friends. That's what I enjoyed. I enjoyed getting drunk with my friends and then just talking about stuff. And I can no longer do that. I don't have, well, first of all, I don't have an access to alcohol. I don't have anyone that's over 21 yet that I know of here in college. And second off, I'm trying not to drink as much. I want to really focus on schoolwork. But I do miss those times. Back in James Island, the schools, it was a very, you didn't really have to worry about your schoolwork, let's put it that way. At my high school, I mean, the teachers were like pot dealers. The kids in there were all potheads. It was not a very good high school that I went to, and it definitely trained me to not study very well. I don't have very good habits whatsoever, and because of that, going into USC, I know I've got to have some serious changes. To put in an example, for senior year at James Island, I didn't even have a book bag. I didn't have a book bag. I didn't have textbooks. I slept in 2 of my 3 classes, and I only had 3 hours of school every day. So going into USC, I've got the same amount of school, but it's a lot more strenuous. I've got to read books, I've got to read textbooks, I've got to have my book bag, I've got to have all these damn school supplies. And just in general, it's a huge transition. So it's not the easiest thing for me to get used to. I like the YouTube access because I have access to 3,000 of you guys out there now that I can get feedback from and support from, and I really do appreciate that. I think that's what the purpose of a subscriber is, in my opinion. When I'm subscribed to someone else, like Wings of Redemption or Woody's Gamertag, it's because I like them as a person. The gameplay is negatable. Sometimes it's just epic gameplay I'll subscribe to, like Sandy Ravage. He doesn't even do commentaries. But when I subscribe to someone, it's because I support them and I support who they are as a person. And when I put up a commentary like this, it's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for support in my times of need, I guess you could say. And I just kind of want feedback. So what do you guys think? If you've been to college, tell me what you suggest as far as making friends, getting inside your major, things like that. If you're going to college soon, look out for it. It's a big experience, it's a scary experience, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it'll be good. So other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed the commentary and gameplay. Like I said, I don't know what it's going to be. I just hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure I put something good in there for you. And other than that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment down below what you thought on this commentary, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.